Gates for this block, and it impacts tens of thousands of you. Anyone driving in a school zone in New Orleans.
Well, if you've received a ticket for speeding in a school zone, you may be able to get your money back. That's because some say the city is violating a newly signed state law by even turning the cameras on.
Here's WDSU investigator Travis Mackle with Speed Trapped.
The signs are up, the lights are flashing, and the tickets are being issued fast and furious in New Orleans. School speed zone cameras are on across the city. Just last month, City Hall sent out numerous press releases announcing the activation of additional cameras. But some have concerns, accusing the city of completely disregarding a state law by even turning them on. Are they breaking this law?
I think a judge would be hard-pressed to find that they're not.
You look, y'all got a lot of attorneys in New Orleans, and I'm sure a lot of attorneys tune in, and it seems to me that there'd be a right for a lawsuit.
I would say he's probably correct, and based on the law, he's correct.
The law that we're referring to is right here, signed by Governor Jeff Landry in June, and it's clear. In layman's terms, it says City Hall has to have a signed agreement, a cooperative endeavor agreement, in place with Orleans Parish Schools before the cameras go on. Right now, there is no agreement. City Hall is putting all money collected into escrow until a deal is brokered. So we tracked down the state senator who wrote the bill, Stuart Cathy from Monroe.
Just to make sure that it's clear, there's got to be an agreement between both of them before these cameras can operate.
So that's my next question. The city of New Orleans is putting the money in escrow and turning them on. Are there legal questions there, in your opinion, if that's even legal to do, to put the money in escrow while they try to bang out a deal here?
My response to that would be, it's pretty black and white in law that you shall not operate speed enforcement devices in school zones without a cooperative endeavor agreement signed between both the local municipality and the school board.
Again, the city doesn't have an agreement in place.
And ultimately, it's not lawyers who make the decision.
Lawyer Megan Kiefer has handled cases dealing with local governments and how they follow state laws.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be a lawyer to decide this issue.
She questions what City Hall is doing and if it's even legal.
Maybe the idea is, okay, well, we want to get this straight, we want to get this right. We'll work on the details later, but let's get the money first. And at the end of the day, look, if you're the government, whether you're going to tax people, fine people, penalize people, put people in jail, you have to have a law that allows you to do it before you do it.
And I will say this, that there are 63 other parishes in this state. Orleans is the only one that has trouble with this.
Which is why some drivers in New Orleans are taking action.
I had my hearing date, and then I attended the hearing date.
Adam Stump and his wife both got caught going over the speed limit at Canal near Harrison in Lakeview.
Both of us were the unfortunate recipients of school zone traffic camera tickets.
But Stump, also a lawyer, noticed something odd.
I don't remember the lights flashing that indicate that it's a school zone.
And under the law, all lights must be flashing and the signage must be correctly marked with school zone enforcement times before the cameras can be activated. That wasn't the case when Stump got his ticket in August, so he fought it and won. And that's not all.
I was successful, not only for myself, but a number of friends got tickets around the same time that reached out for some help, and I was successful in getting theirs dismissed as well.
WDSU Investigates requested the number of tickets tossed out or dismissed in recent months by the city. A spokesperson tells us 33 people have been refunded and over 2,000 school speed zone tickets are currently being contested. Again, to activate any school zone speed camera, the city needs proper signage, flashing lights, and an agreement in place with the school system. Signage and lighting issues are being addressed, but no agreement is in place with OPSB.
Does that surprise you that that's taking this long to get done?
I mean, kind of.
And City Hall isn't saying much on this topic, refusing to make anyone available to answer questions on camera on if they're violating the law. The mayor, CAO, city attorney, all mum, despite WDSU Investigates sending numerous emails requesting comment. A City Hall spokesperson did issue this statement that reads, in part, as per advice from the law department, all revenue generated from school zone enforcement cameras is being held in escrow until cooperative endeavor agreements are finalized with each school.
Is that unfortunate that New Orleans is the outlier here?
Yeah, I mean, but it kind of seems to be par for the course too with city government there.
So here's the big question. If you would like to challenge a school speed zone camera, you can do so at City Hall by going online or going down there. You can have your concerns heard about the legality of the tickets. Also, these cameras generate millions of dollars each year for the city, and the reason an agreement between the city and school system has not yet been brokered. Sources say the city is actually asking to keep a bigger share of the money. All new at